So, Stephen King's It, number 2, ending. Interesting. If you haven't had a chance to watch the movie, please turn off the video now. You can go watch something else. If you have watched the movie, let's discuss this a little bit, because last night I watched Stephen King's movie It, number 2, and really found the ending fascinating. I did, because as you know, if you've visited the channel, my name's JB Glossinger, and I typically put up a lot of different videos here on YouTube, and I'm starting to build YouTube with a daily video, sometimes at least 5 days a week, sometimes 6, 7 days a week, but at least 5 days a week. And in doing that, I got to create multiple forms of content, and obviously the remarkable tablet, as you've watched, many of my subscribers have found that has been the primary focus of the channel over the last month. But I'm expanding in the other areas, and one of those areas that I just absolutely love is horror movies. I grew up on horror movies. If you like horror movies, please put a comment below and say, JB, we want more of this. The other area that I love to discuss is obviously personal development, because I am the morning coach. I've done close to 4,000 podcast episodes of helping people stay positive every morning. But again, it's kind of a weird mix, right? Positivity, but yet horror movies. How do these come together? Well, again, if you haven't seen the ending of Stephen King's It, number 2, make sure you watch the movie. I don't want to spoil it for you. I don't think I really will. But I want to discuss the idea of fear. Because basically in that movie, as we go through the progression, and it was a bigger kind of Hollywood movie, and if I had to review it, it wasn't that great. I'll be honest with you. I'm more into the grainy 70s stuff and 60s stuff. I just love that kind of real eerie feel of a movie. And they've done some good ones with The Conjuring, and there's been a couple good horror movies here recently. But you could tell this was a big studio film. And it was okay. The acting was pretty good, and it held my interest even though I felt it was a little long. But the ending, when they fought the monster, I thought was really good from a standpoint of a learning kind of area. See, when I grew up, I watched Scooby Doo, and Scooby Doo was one of my favorite shows. I love dogs. I've always had big dogs, and Scooby Doo and Shaggy were just kind of cool, and maybe I kind of have a little bit of Shaggy in me a little bit. But there was always one scene in Scooby Doo that I thought was really awesome, and that was when they were Scooby and Shaggy were looking around the corner, and then they saw a shadow come. And the shadow was very small, and then as it got closer, it got bigger and bigger and bigger, until finally, Scooby jumped up in Shaggy's arms, and they were scared to death, and they were trembling. And as the image came out, it ended up being a mouse, and it was this shadow that was cast up on the wall that created all the fear, right, and all the scariness was all that shadow that was there, and everything in our mind. And I think horror in particular, a lot of times when you don't see the monster, it actually is even scarier than if you actually see it. Sometimes when they give you the monster in a horror movie, all of a sudden now it loses its fear because you didn't build it up in your mind. I think that's why when you're reading horror books, it's really it can even be deeper because you're filming the monster in your mind. Well, I think life's a lot like that what happens is we get so scared of certain things that we don't do it anymore. We build up things in our mind instead of going out and actually taking action. It could be starting a YouTube channel. It could be writing a book. It could be learning how to play guitar. It could be doing whatever you dream to do. But we build up all the failure in our mind that all of a sudden we get scared to do it. And in Stephen King's It, Part 2, right, the ending, basically what happened was the monster had created all this fear in the minds of them that once they realized that it was just this fictitious fear, they were able to defeat the monster. They were able to get at the clown, and they were able to beat it down just by saying, you aren't real, you're nothing, you're insignificant. And it just kept shrinking as they started to realize that the fear is what was really creating the monster. Right? So I think in life there are a lot of things. There's a lot of things that this exactly happens with. And what happens is we create this big fear in our mind. And then when we attack that monster and we go after that monster and we say, okay, look, I'm going to do it anyways, no matter what, we realize that it was just that mouse in Scooby Doo, just that shadow. And so what I want to leave you with, and I would love to hear your thoughts on the ending of Stephen King below. If you've never listen to my channel or been to my channel or viewed my channel, I should say, since this is YouTube. I'd love to hear from you because I'm trying to decide what is this channel going to be about? Obviously, the remarkable tablet and some of the reviews are great. The tech reviews work, but that is not going to carry this channel through. I'm not going to do that every day for the rest of my life. But I can share with you some things that I enjoy, which I'm thinking about doing, like some news segments, and then obviously some movie segments, some reviews, and some ideas or books that I've read. Obviously, some on podcasting, I've had some questions on that. I would love to hear from you on what you would like to hear. But if you're enjoying this kind of dialogue, and I think I'm going to do some inspirational videos with some B-roll and stuff, because I'm having fun, really. But I really want to inspire you to look deeper into yourself. And as I do this, I'm actually creating, and I have a lot of fear of doing this. But as I look at this, it's like, can I defeat the monster? And what is the monster? Well, the monster is fear. And fear is what is in your mind. It's what Dr. Wayne Dyer, my friend, used to say, false evidence appearing real. And that movie, Stephen King, It #2, the ending, really kind of showed us that that monster could be defeated if we could just get over the fear in our mind. And so that's what I want you to work on today, is let's work on that. Let's get over that fear. And again, back to the movie, it was okay. I mean, look, I love horror movies. Try to watch them all. Again, I'm more into the 70s type stuff, but you know what? I appreciate the effort. The big studio stuff comes across sometimes as big studio. But I thought they did a pretty good job with it. And I thought it was a pretty good movie. And the ending reminded me to face my fears and to realize that most of my fears are in here. They're not even real. They're like that mouse. They're growing bigger and bigger. And unless I do something about them, they get bigger and bigger until I'm paralyzed and I don't take action. So let's take some action today. Thanks so much for watching. Please, what did you think about Stephen King's It #2? What do you think about fear? What do you think about this channel? Leave it in the comments below. And as always, I really appreciate subscribes because we're building. I'm like really getting started right now. So if you're watching this, I think we're at 5,800 subscribers, which is super cool. We're just getting started, but we're going to have a lot of fun here on the channel. So thanks so much for watching. And until the next one, actually until tomorrow, right? I'll see you right here on the Morning Coach YouTube channel. Remove that fear, all right? Let's go. Let's go do it to it. All right, until the next one. Thanks for watching.